Good morning, everybody. Davis Tallow coming at you once again with another Rocky Mountain rankings, and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing okay. This is probably this is the first Rocky Mountain rankings I've done in well over a month, and I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, and it's been tough. Can't get into the groove tonight. Of course, it'll be morning by the time you see this. But this is Sunday night when I'm recording this, and of course, I put this out Monday morning. Boy, been out of the loop for a couple of weeks. I haven't done any videos for uh, since I think it's the 18th of this past month. But it's been it's been a rough couple of weeks, but been up and down. Let's put it that way. But anyway, we're going to be doing Queen today. I was going to do Uriah Heep, but I wanted to wait till I had all their albums. Um, I ordered um, Different World and Equator. Got Different World. I'm still waiting on Equator. That probably won't be here until week after this one, next week, hopefully next week sometime. That'll leave only one album I need to get, and that's Outsider. But I could have got that one, but I wasn't going to pay $40. So we'll see on that one. Anyway, and Outsider I've only heard a couple times. I need to listen to that a few more times before I attempt Uriah Heep. Uriah Heep is a great band. They got a lot of albums, way more than Queen. So that's going to be a big undertaking. But anyway, Queen started out in 1970. Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and Mike Krause. I think that's how you pronounce it. That was the original members. Krause left and was replaced by Barry Mitchell, who was then replaced by Doug Bogie, who was then replaced by John Deacon. And of course, that's the classic lineup: Freddie, Brian, John, and Roger. What a great band. I mean, it's incredible the music, the wonderful music these four guys put out, and it's just too bad that we lost Freddie. A lot of people had a falling out with Queen when Freddie came out as gay. I could care less what his sexual orientation was. I mean, he was here because he's doing the music. He was into life and music and friendship and everything. Seen a couple of interviews one where Freddie said that he really didn't have very many friends, real friends. And I thought that was shocking. Brian and John and Roger, but there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you don't know about, and of course, recently they had the movie about Queen, the Bohemian Rhapsody. I've seen a few uh, bits from that movie. I haven't seen the whole thing. Saw one where they were arguing in the studio, and I just thought to myself, I really don't want to. How can I put this? You get this idea of a band from seeing them on stage, doing interviews, And when they make a movie based on the lives of these guys, it kind of uh, tarnishes your view of it. And I really didn't want that my view tarnished. It's basically like when they put out a song, and you hear this great song, like Bohemian Rhapsody, and years down the road, they make a commercial using that music. I don't know if they've ever done a commercial using Bohemian Rhapsody, and I hope I'm not wrong on that. But you have this vision when you first hear the song, and after that, you get this vision of the song, what it means to you, and then along comes this commercial of this weird bullcrap product, and it tarnishes your vision. And, you can't well, for me, I can't unsee that sometimes. Um, so every time a commercial comes on when I'm watching TV, when it comes on and it has some song that I love, I'll switch it off. I don't want my vision of the song ruined. And I'm sure there's other people out there that feel the same way. And that's how I feel about Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't want my vision of Queen ruined. I want it to stay where you have some of these guys that put out great music, had a great time on stage. Freddie was full of life. I don't want that ruined. I don't. So I know there's probably going to be people saying, well, how can you judge a book by its cover? It's a good movie. Well, go ahead and enjoy it all you want. But I really don't want to see it. Maybe down the road I'll see it someday, but right now I don't want my vision of Queen ruined. So, anyway, let's get into this. Ranking the albums at Queen, and I know some of the way I rank these albums, I'm going to get skewered. I don't care. This is how I view Queen. This is the albums that is how I reach for the albums. I'm going to start with, if you don't know how this works, I'm going to start with the one I reach for the least and end with the one I love the most. And this, I'm not going to lie, this is really tough. There's a couple albums that were easy to pick, easy to rank. But the vast majority of this discography, ranking them was particular. It was tough. I had to sit there and analyze each and every song. I had to go listen to them again and say, okay, I don't like this song, I don't like this song, but I do like these songs. It was tough. So, anyway, let's get into it here. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta take a drink of vodka. It's water. Not what you think. So anyway, I'm going to start out with number 14. I'm not going to include Flash Gordon, the album Flash Gordon. I've never heard it. I don't have it. Don't want it. I've seen a little bit of that movie, and I didn't care for the movie. So starting out with number 14, we're going to do probably the obvious to a lot of people. I don't think I've heard one person who does a show like this come out and say they love this album. I don't hate this album, but I just don't like it. I don't have a physical copy of this album. I only have it on digital on my computer upstairs. Uh, Maybe someday I'll get a physical copy, but right now, I think I did order a physical copy, and it didn't come. They were fascinating. They were out of stock, so I don't know if they couldn't get them or what. But anyway, album is of course Hot Space, released in May 21st, 1982 by EMI Records and Elektra Records in the U.S. Boy, was this a bizarre, well, yeah, bizarre album. The, I remember when I was a kid and looking at this album, I thought, just by the picture, the cover was a turnoff. I mean, you've got the guys in the band, but where they're represented on there, it, it didn't grab me. Of course, you've got Under Pressure. Probably, if I was to rank the songs of Queen, Under Pressure would be my least favorite. It's okay, but I don't need to listen to it ever again. Uh, Collaboration with David Bowie, of course, one thing, but this whole album, you know, they did a single, other than Under Pressure, Body Language. It's just a weird, bizarre album. I mean, I don't think there's really one song on here that grabs me. I mean, I guess Staying Power is okay. Dancer, Back Chat was real bizarre. Body Language, Action This Day, Put Out the Fire, Life is Real, Song for Lennon, that's all right. Calling All Girls, uh, Las Palabras de Amor, Words of Love, Cool Cat, and of course Under Pressure. And just, they could have done a lot better. In fact, the one of the scenes from Bohemian Rhapsody I did see. Of course, I think I've only seen two scenes from that movie. First one was a scene from Live Aid when they did the concert Live Aid, and the other one was when, like I said, when they were in the uh, record studio. Jeez, I'll get it out there eventually. When they were in the studio getting ready to record what would become Hot Space, they were arguing. Or no, it wasn't Hot Space. I take that back. I'm wrong. I'm wrong on that. But it was when they're getting ready to do the game. That's I'm sorry. It's when they're getting ready to do the game because they're arguing over the recording of No One Bites the Dust, and then John Deacon started doing doom 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 on the bass, and Brian and Roger thought, oh, hey, that's pretty good bass riff. So, but and I'm sure that when they did this album, it had to have been worse in the studio for them. I believe later on they've all see let's see right here. Yeah, Roger Taylor affirmed that it was really John Deacon who turned the band toward the disco sound. So, uh, disliking the new sound, Brian May, Roger were critical of the influence that Paul Prentner had on Freddie Mercury. So I believe Paul was in that scene that I saw from Bohemian Rhapsody. But anyway, I know there's probably some people who love this album, but to me, it's just I don't like it. Though it's got a few good points, but they're well. Let me put it this way: the moon has to be shining a certain way for me to listen to this album. So anyway, let's move on to number 13. And of course, number 13 is the album that came right after Hot Space. Released February 27th, 1984 on EMI Records, Capitol Records in the United States. Of course, I'm talking about The Works. Not a bad album. Um, got some really good songs on here. I just don't reach for this one as much as what is to come. Starts out with Radio Gaga. I know when I first heard or saw that name, I'm like, Radio Gaga. It's going to be Gaga. But I really love that song. My mom really loves that song. And she's more into country music than rock. So that's really saying a lot when she likes a rock and roll song. Follows up with Tear It Up. It's really good. This album, like, on a whole, is a lot harder and a lot better than Hot Space. So, It's Hard Life, great. Man on the Prowl, love that one. Machine or Back to Humans is okay, but it's really bizarre. I Want to Break Free, okay, but I'm not a big fan. Keep Passing the Open Windows, good. Hammer to Fall, one of my favorites. And it ends in Is This the World We Created? Kind of a soft, it is a soft, you know, song about, how this world can be so much better if we just care. Of course, it was recorded after they saw what was going on with the poverty in Africa at the time. So anyway, this album or this disc comes with some bonus tracks. I Go Crazy is pretty good. Then extended version of Radio Gaga and I Want to Break Free. So all in all, solid album, though I just don't reach for it as much. I don't think there's much. Yeah, not too much. Too much in pictures. Of course, that's about it right there. So number 13, The Works. Okay, number 12 comes in. Go with the last album Freddie Mercury did with the band before his death. Released February 4th, 1991 on Parlophone in the UK and Hollywood Records in the United States. Of course, that's Innuendo. Good solid album, though I don't reach for as much. Of course, still it's. I think it could have been a little bit better, but it doesn't suck. I just don't reach for it as much, like I said. Innuendo's okay. Am I going slightly mad's all right. Headlong. Interesting about Headlong. When I first heard that song, for some reason I thought it was Styx. I did. It for some reason, Freddie sounded like Dennis DeYoung at the time. Of course, when I heard that I was out and was working the warehouse at the shop back in '91. So, of course, then I felt like really stupid when I found out it was Queen. But great song. I love Headlong. I Can't Live with You Without You is all right. Not a big fan. Don't Try So Hard is okay. Ride the Wild Wind. Love that one. Great, fun song. All God's People is okay. These Are the Days of Our Lives. It's all right. Delilah. Hitman. Nope, some of my favorites. Bayou. All right. The Show Must Go On. Another great song from. I love that one too. So anyway, it's got some good points. Uh, though I think they could have done a little bit better. Of course, what Freddie was going through at the time, he was uh, really feeling awful, and I'm sure he has good days and his bad days. And of course, when you're dealing with AIDS, that's the way it goes, I guess. But anyway, still, you need to have this album in your discography, your collection. So anyway, number 12, Innuendo. Okay, now we're getting back in the classic era of Queen. Released November 10th, 1978 on EMI Records and Elektra Records. Jazz. I don't think there's too much in picture-wise. Oh, there's the band in the studio. This one kind of, to me, kind of a signaling time when they were trying to be more mainstream. Of course, with the one before this, News of the World, they were shortening their music, not doing as much operatic stuff, though they did hang on to that, sound a little bit on their later stuff. Starts with Mustafa. Song I don't believe they ever did live. So anyway, that one, the lyrics consist of English, Arabic, and Persian, and there also possibly a number of vetted words. So anyway, goes into Fat Bottom Girls. Good song. Not a big fan of that one. Jealousy's great. Bicycle Race. Only Queen came out with a song about riding bicycles. If you can't beat them, great. Let Me Entertain You. I believe that was one of the songs that started their Killers album. Dead on Time's great. In Only 7 Days was all right. Dreamer's Ball, love Dreamer's Ball. Great song. Brian May tribute to Elvis Presley. Fun, It's great. Leaving Home Ain't Easy. Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now. And then ends with more of that jazz. Of course, if you're a Queen fan and you have this album, you know that there's a picture of some unclothed women on bicycles. Little fold out. Of course, I'm sure it was a little bit bigger in the LP form, but Yeah, they had a nude bicycle race. So I believe they used that for, yeah, for fat bottom girls and bicycle race videos. So anyway, only Queen could do that. You know. So anyway, good album. Could have been, I know a lot of people said it could have been better, and I agree. Got some, to me, there's a little bit too much filler. Of course, same with Innuendo. Uh, I think they were just trying too hard to come up with hits here. So anyway, it's number 11, Jazz. Okay. This album, I have to say, is the first album I bought, first Queen album I bought, and it was on vinyl. Uh, Back then, I knew who Queen was, but I really wasn't into them. Excuse me. Um, don't know why. I loved Bohemian Rhapsody back then, but I don't know. Of course, I was a teenager. And teenagers, you got that. One moment you like something, the next moment you hate it. But anyway, released June 30th, 1980 on EMI Records and Little Records. Of course, talking about the game. And the song that they were fighting over in Bohemian Rhapsody, another one bites the dust. Very first song I heard on this album was the Play the Game. Then, no, I take that back. It was Dragon Attack. They played that on the radio before I heard the game. Before I heard No One Bites the Dust. Dragon Attack, I love it. One of my favorite songs off this album. Play the Game's good. Of course, then you got Another One Bites the Dust and way overplayed. Kind of soured on me over the years. Really don't need to hear it again. Of course, kind of a precursor to what was to come with their next album. I Need Your Love Tonight. It's okay. Crazy Little Thing I Love. It's okay. Love the live version off of Wembley 86. Love that version on there. Freddie really just goes all out on that song. Side two, a lot of people I've noticed have said they prefer side two over side one, and I have to agree with them. I do myself. I like side two a lot better. Uh, Starts out with Rocket, Prime Jive. Love that song. Don't Try Suicide. Probably the only weak song on that side. It's a good song, good message, and you should never try suicide. Uh, Sail Away, Sweet Sister, love it. Coming Soon's great, and Save Me. You know, uh, great, great songs. Just love it. Of course, side one is the weakest side. Other than Dragon Attack, which I love to death. All the songs are really weak. So, um, and I know there's probably people say, well, Another One Bites the Dust is an iconic song. It's an iconic song. I don't care. It's not an iconic song to me. Dragon Attack's an iconic song to me on that album right there. So anyway, still a great album. Definitely need to get it if you don't have it. I don't think they got too many. And I got some pictures of the band here. Freddie, after he grew his mustache, changed his look. So anyway, that's number 10. Number 10, moving on to number 9. Now, I know a lot of people are going to find this bizarre and probably going to say, Davies, you're nuts. But we all don't see these albums the same way. What you think is number 1 may be number 20 to me. So, or vice versa. Anyway, released November 8th, 1974. Sheer Heart Attack. That album cover has always bugged the heck out of me. No matter how, I do love the guys. They're all great. Seeing them like that on the cover, it doesn't work. So, aside from that, it's a good album. My problem with it, this could have actually been a little bit lower on my list, but Brighton Rock on here is great. I mean, let's put it this way: I don't like Brighton Rock live, but I do like Brighton Rock on here. Probably this album's saving grace. Killer Queen, good song, but I don't need to hear it again. It's overplayed on the radio again. Then you got Tenement Funster, Flick of the Wrist, and Lily of the Valley medley. Good. Now I'm Here's another great song. In the Laps of the Gods. It's all right on here. I love In the Laps of the Gods live on Wimbledon 86. It's awesome on there. Stone Cold Crazy, not a big fan. A lot of people think that it's an iconic song. I don't get it. I do not like that song. I know it's hard. It's fast driving. Probably a precursor to speed metal. Thrash metal. But and I know Metallica did it, but on their I think their Garage Days Incorporated. But I'm not a big fan. Dear Friends is okay. Misfire is all right. Bring Back Leo Rail. Not a big fan of those songs. She Makes Me. Love that one. Great song. And then In the Laps of Gods Revisited. So, anyway, an album with me that goes up and down. Starts strong and goes down and up and down and up. So, anyway, it could rise higher in my, later on, or it could go lower, It's all in the eyes of the moment, I guess. But Sheer Heart Attack, that's the way I see it. Number 9. If you don't like it, tough. If you love that album, that's you. More power to you. But anyway, moving on to number 8. This album is number 8. When I first got it, well, let me put it this way. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this album would have been, well, if I'd done rankings 20 to 30 years ago, would have been a lot higher. Right now, it's kind of, where it is because some of the songs are kind of soured on me a little bit. But anyway, released June 2nd, 1986. Kind of magic. Of course, this is the album they were touring when they did touring their sport when they did Wembley '86. Um, and it's got some of my favorite songs. Uh, One Vision's good. Not a big fan. A Kind of Magic's great. Love that one. 1 Year of Love. Good mellow song. Pain Is So Close to Pleasure. Not a big fan. Friends Will Be Friends. Good. Uh, Who Wants to Live Forever? One of my all-time favorite songs. Haunting, Foreboding. Just love it. Give Me the Prize. Kurgenstein. Awesome song. I love that one. Full of energy, full of life. I mean, just Queen at their heaviest. I mean, Queen wasn't known as a heavy metal band, but this is heavy metal right here. Queen doing heavy metal, and they do it good. I mean, that's another one of those songs I can't get sick of. No matter how many times I listen to it, I just love it. And when they blend in things from the movie or from Highlander, like I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. And there can be only one. And, love it. Clancy Brown, him doing the Kurgan in that movie. It was awesome. And on that note right there, Clancy Brown, I'd seen an interview with him and saying that he said that he wasn't pleased how the Kurgan was portrayed. Having them do with, heavy metal, leather get up and, the way he shaved his head and stuff. Clancy Brown said that to him, that's not scary. He said if he would have had more say how the Kurgan would have been portrayed, he would have been wearing all black, a suit, been more mysterious. He said that something like that's more frightening than that. He said that Kurgan's more like, to him, was more like a clown. But I don't know. I disagree. Way the Kurgan was going, he was kind of like he was slowly losing his mind, his sanity, in that way with the flow of the movie. So anyway, great song. Don't Lose Your Head's great. Not a big fan of that one. Princes of the Universe. If I was to rank all the songs, Princes of the Universe would be vying for my number one spot. Great. It's another song I can't get sick of. In fact, I was listening to it earlier today. Had the thing cranked, that and Give Me the Prize. Had cranked both of them. Had the walls rattling. I mean, just, way that's it. Here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. Just awesome. If you've never heard that song, you need to hear it. I mean, and I think that's the song that played at the opening credits of Highlander. Yeah. Got its weak points, but it's got its strong points. Especially with Princes of the Universe and Give Me the Prize and Who Wants to Live Forever. And even One Vision, A Kind of Magic, and Friends. It's a good, strong album. So definitely check this out. I mean, you won't be disappointed. But right now, that's my number 8. Moving on to number 7. Now, when I started collecting Queen's albums uh, back in 91, 92, right after Freddie passed away, they released all their albums on Island Records with bonus tracks and stuff. Uh, Prior to that, I only owned 2 albums. That was The Game and their greatest hits. Excuse me. Listened the heck out of both those albums back then. But I really didn't consider myself a Queen fan at the time. I really didn't understand them. Other than their hits and stuff, they were kind of a mysterious mystery to me. But when Freddie died, I thought, I missed out. And plus I'd seen Freddie and Queen at Live Aid. I had a friend record the whole Live Aid concert thing. Took all day and all night, of course. But seeing him live was fantastic. But it wasn't until he passed away that I'm like, wow, no more. There's going to be no more Queen music. So I thought I better go out and buy their album before I can't get any more. Of course, you can still buy them. Their music is still in high demand, of course. But when I started collecting their albums, this one at the time I really didn't get. Of course, this and the one before it I didn't understand too much. It was so different from the rest of the stuff. Of course, I'm talking released March 8th, 1974, talking about Queen 2. If you heard their later stuff first, and then you go to this earlier stuff, it's so different. Yet you can tell it's Queen. It's got their signature sound. Even though they changed their music, they still got that signature sound. Of course, Freddie is the signature voice of Queen. Of course, Brian and Roger, you know who's singing a song. Freddie and Brian, pretty close to the same, though Freddie can hit higher notes. Brian's more of a subdued singer. And of course, Roger, he's got that rough, high voice, But this, when I first heard this, I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't like it at first, but now I really, really love this album. Though it's not high on my list, coming at number 7. Though, if I'd done this a couple months ago, without hearing it again, I probably would have ranked it lower. But I went and listened to it a bunch of times, and it's just really great. I mean, it starts out with Possession, and flows into Father and Son, or Father to Son. Really great. White Queen as it begins, great. Someday, One Day, great. Someday, One Day. Of course, Brian's on lead vocals throughout this. And Brian's really got a great voice. It's not as iconic as Freddie, but it's still, you can't say he sucks singing. He doesn't. I love hearing Brian May sing. Loser in the End, of course, Roger doing the vocals on that one. Great song. and this is divided up into on the album or the vinyl version, white side and black side. The black side starts with Ogre Battle. Uh, Great fun song, love it. Uh, the the Fairy Feller's Masterstroke. Always have a hard time saying that title. Uh, inspired by a painting by the same name by Richard Dadd, and it's a very strange painting. I mean, it's one of those paintings you can sit there and look and find new things every day, you know. But anyway, great song. Nevermore is good. March of the Black Queen, fantastic. Funny How Love Is, and then ends with Seven Seas of Rye. Of course, this one's got, and all these, I should have mentioned that. All these have got bonus tracks on them. It's got See What a Fool I've Been, B-side, original. Remix of Ogre Battle and Seven Seas of Rye. But anyway, great album, great songs. Number 7, Queen 2. This next one, same boat with with Queen 2. When I first heard this, I didn't know what to make of it, but now it's really growing on me more and more. Released July 13th, 1973. Their debut, Queen. Of course, a lot of people call it Queen 1. Heavy album. I mean, it's really heavy. It's got its light points, but it's mostly, hard driving rock. And I've heard it say, or this is the hard rock version, hard rock Queen. Queen 2 is the progressive Queen. And I agree with him. This is really a progressive album, progressive rock album. It's progressive, but it's more hard driving rock. And it starts out with "Keep Yourself Alive," "Doing All Right." Love that song. "Doing All Right," nice calm song. Then calm, and then really jams out. Do 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 do. Great King Rat, great song. My Fairy King. One of those songs that I don't know. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Liar, love that song. Night Comes Down, great. Modern time rock and roll. Roger singing on that one. Son and Daughter's great. Jesus. That one, it's a good song, but I don't know. It's just basically the story of Jesus of Nazareth, sung by Freddie. And then Seven Seas of Rye ending. This one's got bonus tracks, Mad the Swine. Love it. Previous unreleased. Mad the Swine. Longer version of Keep Yourself Alive, and then really long version of Liar. I believe it's about the same song. Remixed by, just a remix, let's put it that way. So, anyway, great album. Check it out. And this Queen back then, like I said, it's the way they changed over the years, but yet their signature sound remained there. It's just incredible how they were able to do that. So anyway, that was number 6. Moving on to top 5 at 5. Okay, number 5, released October 28th, 1977. Got two of those their most iconic songs, though not the iconic. News of the World. Now, this album was done right when punk rock was starting to break out. And the Sex Pistols were the name of the game at the time. I know some people, excuse me, some people call them the fathers of or godfathers of uh, punk rock. Excuse me. No. And they basically were instrumental in sparking a backlash against progressive rock and hard rock and stuff like that. Particularly where Queen is concerned. Though, from what I've heard and read, when Queen was doing this album, the Sex Pistols were next door or upstairs or downstairs, whatever, recording, and Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious had run-ins with Queen. But all in all, it was said that because of the punk move and all that, the kids being told, you have to be critical of progressive rock because it sucked. Queen decided to change their sound, and they did. They went with more straightforward rock on this one. Of course, it starts out with "We Will Rock You," which goes right into "We Are the Champions," and I don't think I've ever heard either one of those songs played without the other on the radio. They play "We Will Rock You" and then "We Are the Champions" every single time. Love both songs. A lot of people don't like them anymore, but I love both songs. Great songs. Of course, "Sheer Heart Attack" was half finished when they were doing the album of the same name. But for some reason, they didn't finish it up. They finished it up for this album, but it's a good song. I don't. Sometimes I don't. Well, I really don't know if I like the song. It's a good hard driving song, but I don't know. Sometimes it just bugs me. So I don't know. All Dead, good song. "Spread Your Wings," love that one. "Spread your wings and fly away, far away." Love it. Fight from the Inside's good. "Get Down, Make Love," good song. "Sleeping on the Sidewalk," all right. "Who Needs You," it's okay. "It's Late," love that song. And "My Melancholy Blues" is great. All in all, a good solid album, but vastly different from what came before it. Of course, what came before you had these little ditties, kind of classical little things thrown in here and there, and of course that's basically what the punk movement was regaling against, stuff like that. So anyway, this really kept Queen relevant And this one, oddly, only has one bonus track. And that's We Will Rock You, remixed by Rick Rubin. And it says on here, bonus remix, ruined by Rick Rubin. It is really a bizarre remix. I mean, it's kind of the hip hop version of We Will Rock You. So if you get this, definitely check that out. I don't know if I like it or hate it. So anyway, that's my number 5. Moving on to number 6. Now this album, I know some people are going to say, how can you put this so high? I mean, it's not a good album. Well, I think otherwise. I love this album. Released November 6th, 1995. 4 years, of course, after Freddie's death. I'm talking about Made in Heaven. I really love this album. I mean, of course, it's Queen song, unreleased Queen songs. I've heard stuff they were working on up until Freddie passed away, and some songs that were meant for his solo albums. But got a few pictures in here. A lot of people don't understand this album. I really enjoy it. It's not hard driving rock. You know, it's starts out with "It's a Beautiful Day," and really, to me, excuse me, a lot of these songs, if not all, are just how would I put it? Well, upbeat songs. I mean, it's Freddie. He knows he's got AIDS. He knows he's dying. He hurts. He can't tour anymore, but he wants to stay positive. He wants to stay full of life. He wants to live. But it starts. It's a beautiful day. I love it. The way it flows right into and starts the album. Then goes into Made in Heaven. Uh, Originally, it was for Mercury's Mr. Bad Guy album, but it was cut. Um, Great song. Let Me Live. It's echoing the way I'm sure Freddie was feeling at the time. He wanted to live. And I don't know, he was only, 45 when he'd passed away? Uh, Mother Love. Um, Song that Freddie, I believe this is the song. Yeah. Freddie was doing it, and he said he was not feeling really good at the time. He said when he came back, he would finish it. Of course, he never did. He passed away, I think, a couple days later, maybe. And Brian, that's why you hear Brian finish the song. I just love that song. My Life's Been Saved, great upbeat song. I was born to love you. Oh, awesome song. Heaven for everybody. Freddie wanted Freddie and the band. Roger, John, and Brian. I'm sure they felt all the same way. They want everybody to be friends, and enjoy life, and that's the positive message we can all get from Queen. They were upbeat. They wanted everybody to enjoy life and love, live in peace. Especially I'm sure it was more with Freddie. But and they were right. This Earth can be heaven for everybody. We just learn to live together. Um, then it goes into too much love will kill you. Whether too much love will kill you, just as sure as none at all. You know, one of those songs where if you got too much love, it'll hurt you, or if you've got too little, uh, you don't fool me. Another great song, love it. And it goes into A Winter's Tale. Oh, awesome song, awesome. Freddie at his finest. And Beautiful Day again, and then it goes into 4 second, yeah. Uh, the shortest song on the album, probably the shortest song in the history of rock. I think the second shortest would be song, I can't remember what it's called, by Ailstorm. 6 seconds. That one was this one's 4. Um, Shortest, what does it say about here? Shortest song on the Queen album, in Queen's song catalog. That's only 4 seconds. It consists of Mercury only saying the word "yeah," which is taken from the song "Don't Try Suicide." Ah, yeah, okay. It appears at the beginning of the first line during the second chorus of that. So, anyway, then it goes into this Untitled song that's like, I think 25, 22, or yeah, 22 minutes, 32 seconds long. Um, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but to me, it's a lot of people don't get it. But to me, it's kind of like you can picturing Freddie leaving his body and ascending to heaven, and going to heaven, his journey. And he ultimately gets there and he finds all his friends, and he's, you know, I'm sorry. It's just, I hope he, I hope he found peace. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cry. Just that man, we're not all perfect. He was a great man. I wish I could have met him. He gave us some great music. He deserved to go in a better way than dying from a disease. But anyway, we're here to be happy, aren't we? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to get emotional there. But anyway, if you've never heard this, you'd have to hear it. I mean, it's a great album. It's the band and Freddie trying to be, or wanting to be full of life, still wanting everybody to be loving life. And Freddie did love life. So I said I, he deserved to go in a better way than than this, than way past. So anyway, that's my number 4, Made in Heaven. Moving right along here. On to number 3. Now this one, where is it here? Oh, there it is. This one was going to be a lot lower on my list, but before I started doing this video, I was listening to it, and this is really a fantastic album. Released May 2nd, 1989, about the miracle. Another album full of life. I mean, of course, by this time, Freddie knew he had AIDS. He was going to get, his life was going to go downhill. So this, and the two albums that follow, full of life, full of just wanting to live. Starts out with Party, and goes into Khashoggi Ship, which is great. Not not a big favorites of mine, but they're starting to sink in. The Miracle is a good song. Not a big fan of that, though it's a great, it's a great song. Full of life. I Want It All. Probably the theme song for just about everybody on this world. I want it all. I want it all, and I want it now. The Invisible Man. Not one of my favorites from this album, though it's a good song. Not a big fan. Kind of, one of the weaker songs off this album. Breakthrough, love it. Rain Must Fall, love that one. Scandal, great. My Baby Does Me, is great. Was It All Worth It? Love it. Hang On In There. And of course ends with Chinese Torture, which I really don't get. This one has 2 bonus tracks. The Invisible Man. So, it's okay. It's about the same as it's just an extended version. This is a 12-inch version. Then it has a 12-inch version of mix of Scandal, which I really love. I love the remix over the original version. It's longer, and it's the way it starts out with the drums. It's awesome. So, but anyway, this, like I said, it moved up. I was going to put it number 11, and it moved up to number 3 just from listening to it. Actually, twice a day. Once upstairs and once before I started this video. So definitely check it out. So moving on to the top 2 at 2. Now, if you're a Queen fan, you know what my top 2 are. You just don't know how they're placed. Number 2, released November 12th or November 21st, 1975. Night at the Opera. Really had a tough time deciding which ones are going to be number 1, which was going to be number 2. And in actuality, either one they could trade. I mean, right now. If I, but the day of the races, love that just a little bit better than this one right now. Of course, neither one are really weak. Um, starts out with Death on Two Legs, dedicated to boom, boom, bleep, bleep, bleep. Of course, if you went to a Queen concert, you'd know exactly what he was saying, dedicated to his, well, we won't get into that. Trying to keep this clean. uh, Lazing on a Sunday afternoon, great. This is what I was talking about. They changed their music, kind of simplified their music with News of the World. This, lazing on a Sunday afternoon. Kind of like something you hear at a country club for the rich and famous. Lazing on a Sunday afternoon. Doo, doo. It goes into I'm in love with my car. Roger on vocals. You're my best friend. John Deacon penned hit right there. 39. Brian May. Love it. Love that song. Simple. Just great little story. Sweet Lady. Fantastic. Seaside Rendezvous. Another one of those little ditties that you'd hear from a 1930s movie. The Prophet song. Love it. Great, fantastic song. One of my favorites off this album. Love of My Life's great. No, not my favorite. Good Company's good. Good. Part of the two songs that kept us from out of number one right there. Bohemian Rhapsody. What do I need to say about that? Iconic song. Another song I cannot get sick of. I'm sure there's people out there saying, "Oh, well, I don't need to see that or hear that song again," but I just love it. And of course, then ends with "God Save the Queen." This one's got a couple of bonus songs: "I'm in Love with My Car" remix, and "You're My Best Song" or "Best Friend" remix. All in all, fantastic. Queen at their top of their game. This is what put them on the map. This and what's the album that's to come, but especially this album. So that's my number two. Of course, number one. Released December 10th, 1976. Day at the Races. This is just, like I said, Queen at their best. Starts out with "Tie Your Mother Down." Awesome. I love it, especially live on Wembley 86. If you've never heard that, check it out. Version of "Tie Your Mother Down." It starts out with one vision and it goes right into this song and just gets everything pumped, everybody going. Then kind of mellows out with "You Take My Breath Away" is fantastic. "Long Way" is great, fantastic. "Millionaire's Waltz," love it. "You and I," "Somebody to Love," love all the There's one song that's, well, we'll get into that here in a sec. "White Man." Oh, love that song. It's kind of a saying that white man was cause of all the suffering of Native Americans. and me being a white man, yeah, but there's wrong on both sides. It's the whole thing wasn't one sided. Though I'm, all great Europeans coming here and doing things the way they did, they could have been handled better. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. But white man, I just love it. The guitar work and the drums on that, and Freddie just, it's awesome. He goes a good old fashioned lover boy, love it. Uh, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Drowse. uh, Probably the only weak point on here. It's okay song, but I'm not a big fan. And then Teal Tolerette, I can't pronounce that. Let Us Cling Together. Love it. Fantastic song. Just front to back. I mean, this whole album just flows smooth. I mean, the only dip it would be Drowse. Um, but other than that, it just flows awesome. So that's my number one. Like I said, I could do this a couple months from now, and Night of the Opera could be number one, and this would be number two. So there you have it. Queen, least favorite to favorite. Let's do a little recap. Day at the Races, Night at the Opera, Miracle, Made in Heaven, News of the World, Queen 1, Queen 2, Queen 3, Kind of Magic, Sheer Heart Attack, The Game, Jazz, Innuendo, and The Works, and the one I don't, the one I don't have, Hot Space. Definitely check out if you don't know Queen or you just know them from listening to the radio. So much more to them than just the radio hits. Um, Progressive rock, heavy metal, uh, classical, um, just fun loving rock and roll. I mean, these guys were, and there's Brian May and Roger Taylor are still going strong. They did, in fact, the last 6, 7, 8 years they've been touring with what the no. Now I can't think of his name. Drawing a blank there. Who was it they were touring with? Adam Lambert. Apologies. It looks like they were touring with him since 2012. So, and have listened to some of the live stuff done with Adam, and he's not Freddie, but he does a good decent job. I haven't heard the one with Paul Rogers, though I've heard that Paul did a great job. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, well, they didn't need to do these tours. Why are they insulting Freddie? Blah blah blah. When you're a rock and roller, you don't retire really from rock and roll. Some people say they do. You don't. You always end up coming back. So until the only way you retire is the day you are finished with this life. So, but Queen, they just they're awesome band, awesome group of fellows. I just wish Freddie could have continued on. You know, died of old age instead of from a horrible disease. And I know there's people out there that say, well, he got from his lifestyle. He got what he deserved. Whatever. Not, sorry, no, nobody deserves that. It's a horrible disease. Why? Only God knows why that's here. I know there's people, a lot of people out there that don't believe in God, but I do. I believe that we'll get to a place that's better. Some of us will have a better chance than others. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed going back and listening to all these albums. Great band, and definitely check them out if you don't know. So anyway, trying to think of some different things to do. I've been toying with the idea of doing a kind of a little thing where I'll put band names in a bowl or something, and I'll pick them out, and then I'll choose an album and uh, uh, pick a song that from that album or something. I don't know. Then talk about that song. See what See what that comes. We come up with that. So I come up with. I'll definitely be doing Uriah Heep. I don't know if I'll be doing it next Monday. I'll be definitely doing the Monday following that. I want to wait till I get uh, Equator. I know a lot of people say Equator is a terrible album by Uriah Heep. I listened to it a couple times, and I think it's a decent album. I saw them on that tour. They opened for Def Leppard when that album was out, and they a lot of people loved them. I know some of the guys that I was with were asking me, who was that band that opened up for Def Leppard? And I told them, "You right?" He said, "God, they were awesome." Especially the guitar player, Mick Box. I mean, he was all over the place. And of course, Mick Box. If you're right, Heap friend, he's full of life. So anyway, I'm going to end this. It's going to take quite a while to download, or upload onto YouTube. So I better end this as soon as I can. So anyway, don't know what I'll be doing next Monday. I'll figure out, unless, of course, the album comes before then. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. So, but I'll see you all then, and have a good week and a good weekend. So I'll see you then. Bye.